"Axel, move forward!" came the sharp command. The powerful German shepherd surged ahead with full speed, his gaze fixed on the elderly man in front of him. But just as his paws were about to land, he stopped, frozen. His body lowered gently to the ground, and he sat still, refusing to obey the order. The people around gasped, children clutched their toys. A breeze swept through the park, but time felt like it had stopped. Nobody truly noticed the older man who often wandered through Bridgetown, Missouri. His name was Raymond Tucker. He was past 70, walked slowly with a limp, and always wore a green jacket that had faded through years of use. Its fabric was worn thin, and the sleeves were coming apart at the edges. Most believed he was just another lonely figure, someone who spent hours feeding birds and staring into the distance. But there was more to him than anyone imagined. Decades ago, in 1972, Raymond had been far from home, serving overseas in the military. He had been a canine handler, paired with a fierce and loyal German shepherd named Major. Together, they had walked dangerous roads, swept empty buildings, and survived countless threats. Their bond had been unbreakable, until the day a hidden explosive ended Major's life. Raymond never got over it. He had returned home broken, discharged from service, and never allowed another dog into his life again. "Some pain," he once said to a stranger, "never leaves. It just becomes quieter." That morning, the air smelled of fresh grass. Leaves rustled under Raymond's boots as he walked toward the same bench he visited every Thursday. He sat quietly, watching children run through the playground. Though he rarely spoke, this scene always brought him peace. Then something unexpected happened. A nearby store owner had seen Raymond walking slowly near the swings. Unaware of his past, the nervous shopkeeper called the police, claiming there was a strange man loitering near kids. Within minutes, 2 officers arrived in separate vehicles. One officer approached Raymond with caution, while the other stood back, holding onto the leash of Axel, the department's prized canine. "Sir, please move away from the playground," the officer said, keeping a firm hand on his holster. Raymond, whose hearing had worsened over the years, did not catch the words. He leaned forward slightly, placing a hand behind his ear to understand better. The officer misread this movement. "Release the canine," he ordered. Axel launched forward without hesitation, teeth bared, eyes focused. People screamed. A little girl dropped her balloon. Raymond barely turned his head before the dog reached him. But instead of attacking, Axel stopped, lowered his head, and sat beside Raymond's leg. There was complete silence. Axel leaned in and nudged his nose against the man's trembling hand. Raymond's eyes widened. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Major." He knew it could not be real. He knew this dog was different. But something in Axel's eyes, the calm in his presence, the familiar way he touched Raymond's hand, it brought everything back. "Axel, return," the officer repeated, confusion rising in his voice, but Axel did not budge. He pressed himself closer to the elderly man, resting his head gently against Raymond's knee. It was as though he recognized him, as though he had always known he would find him again. People gathered. Phones were raised. A bystander filmed the moment, a police dog trained for action, disobeying commands to offer comfort. Raymond sat slowly on the bench, his fingers brushing Axel's fur. His lips trembled as he said, "You did not forget, did you? All those years, and you still remembered me." Later, at the station, the officers could not explain what had happened. "Axel has never failed to respond, not once," said the officer who had given the command. 3 days passed. Then Raymond received a call from the Bridgetown Police Department. Axel was nearing the end of his service and would retire soon. Considering what they had seen, they asked Raymond if he would consider taking Axel home when the time came. He agreed instantly. When spring arrived, the park looked different. Trees swayed gently, and sunlight warmed the pavement. Raymond still wore his old green jacket, but his steps were lighter now. Walking beside him, no longer in uniform, was Axel, his companion, his guardian, his friend. Two souls, both wounded, both healing, walking side by side.